This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Mike Wilson, who is the Director of Habitat for Humanity here in Alpena. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Nancy. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Happy New Year to you and your staff and all of your volunteers.
Same to you.
I'm sure it's going to be an exciting year, and I know we want to start out talking about family mentors.
That's correct. And Nancy, it is going to be an exciting year. We're experiencing a lot of exciting things happening, and I did want to share and a little information on family mentoring. The habitat design for selecting and partnering with families is for us to have a volunteer individual or a couple come alongside our partner families that are selected for habitat homes and befriend them and provide for them some support, as they go through and enter into this whole realm of home ownership, which they haven't experienced before. So we're looking for individuals that will serve as mentors and do that. So I'm wanting to put the word out today and of course throughout the year to reach out to those who might have an interest in doing that for Habitat.
What do you think a time commitment is for a volunteer position like that?
Well, depending on when they get involved with the family, it would normally be something that would probably run a few hours a week through the time that our family is selected, to the point that they're working through the build, coming alongside them, answering questions. And so it would depend also a little bit on the needs of that partner family. The mentors may have more opportunity to spend additional time with them.
Okay. And the next thing we want to talk about is partner families. We actually need partner families.
That's right. I think a lot of people don't really understand the process of applying for a habitat home. And that's not a hard process. It's really pretty easy to do. Qualifying is of course things that we consider for a partner family. First and foremost is they have to have a consistent family income, household income, and that ranges, depending on family size, from anywhere from $13,000 a year up to, if it's a family of 5 or 6, up to $35,000 a year. So it's that kind of range that we're looking for when we're talking about income for a family. But we take in consideration if they're on some form of assistance, that is included in that.
Okay.
If they're receiving child support, if they're on disability, we consider that as part of their regular household income. The other thing that we look at, of course, as a entity that writes mortgages or provides mortgages, is we have to look at the credit history. And so it goes without saying that we're looking for families that have been at least working on their credit history. Maybe they've fallen behind. There's always that case they might have medical bills and things like that happen in individuals. And so that doesn't rule them out, but we want to look at their credit history and say, where are you at? Can you afford a monthly mortgage payment, even if it's at 0% interest, which our Habitat mortgages are? Or and are you in a position where your credit is good enough that you don't have a lot of additional debt on a monthly basis that you have to deal with?
And buying a house or having a home, that's the American dream. I mean, that's something that all of us take for granted. So it's wonderful that Habitat's out there to make that American dream come true for your families.
Right, and that's our, backing up, that is our mission for Habitat as a Christian organization that services has outreaches in every state in the country and in 90 countries in the world. We've built over 500,000 homes for families that otherwise wouldn't be able to afford simple, decent, affordable housing. And then when we build homes, we build them in a way that they're extremely energy efficient. We meet Energy Star standards, which is a rating system that deals with a lot of the newer technology in heating and keeping things efficient.
Okay, so we need people to come in and apply, and you can work them through the process. And where will they come to apply?
Well, they can apply by contacting our office, Habitat for Humanity office. Our phone number is 989-356-3509. You can call, and we'll be glad to send them information and an application if they're interested in that. Or they can stop by. Our office is in the First Presbyterian Church, which is on US 23 North. As you go out, it's across the street from the Holiday Inn.
Okay. And lastly, we want to talk about Raise the Roof concert. Raise
the Roof. We have a concert planned for our community as one of our fundraising efforts. It will come up March 9th. That's a Saturday. It will be held at 6:30 p.m. at the auditorium at the Alpena Public Schools at the high school. We are featuring some of our local artists, and we're really looking forward to a great night. We will also be doing a silent auction and a live auction throughout the concert event between the acts. We have some local entertainment that are really professional quality, doing a variety of music.
That's one thing about Alpena. Man, do we have some good musicians. So if there's a local concert, I try not to miss it. So hopefully everybody will. Now, and volunteers, Mike, you always need volunteers too for your restore. You need people to donate items. So, you know, just a variety of things. So look at your website, give you a call, stop by the store. Lots of things people can do to help out.
Sure. We definitely appreciate the support we always get, but we always can do more when we receive more.
Right, and I've been a volunteer in the past actually helping build the homes, and it's probably some of the most fun I've ever had, being with groups and organizations, and that's something that people can do too. They can help with the builds, they can bring food for the volunteers, they can help with lodging for volunteers, so many things that can be done. So give you a call again. The number is?
The number is 356-3509.
Or stop by at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. Items change every day. Come on in and see the wonderful store. Probably one of the nicest thrift stores I've ever been in.
It is, and the people, our staff there really work hard to keep that, good for our community.
Sure do. Thank you, and once again, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you, Nancy.
I'll be right back with Jeff Gray from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary following these messages. Welcome back. I'm with Jeff Gray from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Happy New Year, Jeff.
Oh, Happy New Year. Thanks for having me back.
Yes, and I know that last year the numbers and the things you did went in the record book.
It was an incredible year. We were really, really excited. We had over 83,000 people come through the visitor center. Remarkable from all over the world, all over the state, all over the country. It's great when you go through the guest book and see where they're coming from.
It is. I always enjoy doing that. Every time I go in and flip through the book to see. And if those 83,000 people were here, we know they were buying food and gas and shopping and enjoying our facilities.
And the sanctuaries, we're bringing a lot of them in, but they're discovering all the incredible other assets we have in this community. And we've seen growth just about every year since we've been open. We're hoping to break that 100,000 mark this year, and we're excited for the summer. It's not that far away. I know it seems like it being in January here,
but it's
going to be a great summer for Northeast Michigan.
It's going by fast. And today we want to talk about a report that you just recently got the results from.
Yeah, well, we're about ready to finalize a report called the Condition Report, and it sounds like an odd name, but what it really is, it's, we've talked a lot about the different research that's conducted in the sanctuary, and we talk a lot about our education programs and exhibits and tourism, but what the sanctuary is really here to do is protect the Great Lakes and the rich history, and we do all those other things so we can protect it, give people information they need. Well, what we've done is kind of assessed all the science that's been done over the last several years, and really took a look at the condition of the wrecks themselves and how they're doing and the pressures they face. So it's a little bit more of a scientific document reviewed by scientists across the country, and it's part of what the National Marine Sanctuary System does at all its sites, across the country. But it's really, I think, it's probably not a document you're going to read all the way, from front to back, but it's really some great information about the history and what's going on in the lakes and the science behind it and what we can do to help protect it.
Speaking about what's going on in the lakes, what about our water levels?
Yeah, and that's obviously a giant concern right now as the lakes drop. I mean, you almost can see it by the week, the levels going down. The 40 and 50, almost 60-degree weather we have is kind of unprecedented. The lack of ice cover is really sucking up the water right out of the lake, and that's, people ask quite a bit, what's going on with lakes, why is it, and is it the lack of snow? And yes, that's a factor, the very hot summers we've had the last couple of summers, but a major factor is the lack of ice cover. I mean, we have not had very cold winters, and what the ice cap does, it really slows the evaporation from the lake, so it's dropping. We're pretty much at the record low right now, but it is cyclical, so there is hope that it can come back. We're working on some documents and some interpretation to let people know what's going on. You can get some information on the lakes where you can actually look at some charts that show the water levels and adjust with that. And we have a link on our webpage to that information. And just kind of let people know what you do, because some of the shallow water shipwrecks that we talked about, snorkeling, are becoming more shallow, and they're actually sticking out of the water or completely dry. And we just want to remind people that those are important historic sites. They're okay to go up and look at, but it's best to leave them where they are. They are protected, and we want to make sure they are. If you want to take a picture, we're working on some technology where if you send us a picture from your cell phone, we can pull the GPS data from it so we can know where it is, and just call the sanctuary and let us know if you see some stuff. And we're working with some volunteers to help identify and map some of the stuff that might be dry. But we really ask people, leave it where it is. We have instances where we've seen where people have gathered it together and made bonfires, and we can tell that because there's a pile of fasteners that would burn from there. But they're really important wrecks. Hopefully the water will come back, and those will be sites that we'll be snorkeling around or kayaking around instead of walking around.
Right, and if you see wrecks or something pops out of the water, if you live on the Great Lakes, please call. Let people know that it's there and what's going on, especially for navigation. I'd be afraid of someone running into it or something too.
Yeah, it's going to be some real challenges this summer. Keep our fingers crossed for some snow and cold weather the last few months here.
And I know I live on an inland lake, and I have a beach, and I never have a beach, so it's amazing to see how our water levels have dropped since fall.
It's the Mississippi River. You hear on the news how they're having major issues there. So
hurting commerce and navigation and tourism, and a ton of things are down because of the low lake levels.
Yeah, and the good news, like we mentioned, the condition report is one of the great things about having the sanctuary here is that we are attracting researchers here. We were designated because of the shipwrecks, but what we like to say is we're here to protect the Great Lakes and their rich history, and so we're bringing researchers in to help us better understand invasive species, changing climate, all of the different things that are going on with the lake, as well as the history of those wrecks, so we can really preserve what is really one of the nation's most gorgeous and important natural resources. Governor Schneider has made a big commitment to the Great Lakes, and as a part, it really is the future of the state, these lakes, and we need to make sure we're taking care of them.
Okay, we have about 3 minutes left, so what else is happening at the sanctuary?
We have some, as always, our education team is doing so much. Just this last week, we had another ROV workshop where
I saw that.
16 teachers from around the state come, as far as the UP, downstate in the Detroit area, coming to Alpena to learn about underwater robotics and marine technology. And what this does is it helps these teachers do what a lot of our teachers are already doing here, but these teachers take it back to their school, and they come back with their students in our ROV competitions. And besides spreading this great information and education, more and more people are discovering what Northeast Michigan has to offer. So, and
our teams have gone on to bigger and better things too.
Yes, international competitions, and with the Alpena Community College Marine Tech Program, we are really, any of these events we're doing, we're using this as a way to promote that program and let the teachers know, let the advisors at these schools know that there's this really incredible program right here in Michigan, in Alpena.
Yes, in Alpena.
Yeah.
And you worked very hard to get that going, so it's a great thing. I know a couple people are taking the class, and it's, when they talk about it, it's amazing what they're learning.
Yeah, and we're hoping it'll expand. It's unique. It's not just behind the books and just in the lab. We really work to get the students out on the water, working side by side with us or other scientists here to see what it's like. You may think you want to be a marine, scientist, marine technician, but some people, once they find out that they're on the water, they don't like it. But what happens to most people, they get out there and they see the work, experience it, and it just drives them more for success. And we really have, I think, a great opportunity with the incredible stuff going on at APS coupled with going on at ACC, that we can really make some spectacular programs.
Okay, we have about 1 minute left, and the Sanctuary store, we have to give a boost to that.
Yeah, Christmas is over, but our store is open, our exhibits are open year-round. Come on in and see us. We have some amazing prints that have come in, some paintings that were commissioned on some of the different wrecks, what they look like when they were sailing. They're absolutely gorgeous. Great t-shirts, great winter gear, so come on in and see us. And all the proceeds from that go to help the exhibits and help our education program. So besides getting a great gift or something for yourself, if you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, it really goes to help build these programs that we talk about every month.
And then check out your website too. I always do just prior to you coming on, and some of the underwater scenes, you feel like you're there, you feel like you're in the water. Everything is so in detail and close up. You get to see the wrecks, and check out the website.
And next time we can talk a little bit about some exciting things we go in the exhibits, because we try to keep those fresh, and we'll be revamping them for the spring.
Okay.
So yeah.
Talk to you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Jointon following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Jointon, president of Alpena Community College, and my guest this morning, Associate Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs, Nancy Saya.
Good morning, Olin.
Welcome to the show, Nancy.
Thank you.
Nice to have you. Among your many and varied duties that you're so good at discharging, you are the interim coordinator for the Huron Shores campus down in Oscoda on the Oscoda Wurtsmith Airport facility, where there are lots of other businesses going there. And our topic this morning is getting to know our neighbors and training in industrial technology. Why don't you tell us the story how this got started?
Okay, thank you. This summer, the airport authority manager came to us and asked us if we'd like to meet who was in our backyard. And of course, we jumped at the chance. And because I'm being new down there, had no idea about the manufacturing and industrial plants back there. And so they set up a site visit for us and the area high schools to participate in a morning session where we went through 3 different businesses: Coletta Air, P&L Manufacturing, and Phoenix Composites. And the premise, I guess, for the whole visit was they are looking to employ quality entry-level workers. And they're having a hard time finding quality entry-level workers, and they were looking to partner with the education facilities in the area, namely us, to put together some sort of programming where we could train people in the vocational world. Those that students that don't want to go to a 4-year institution, they just want maybe a certificate, a 1-year certificate, and then they would have the basic skills needed to enter the workforce in the manufacturing world. So we did the site visit. We were pretty impressed with what they had to offer and their facilities, and also what they would have to offer a new employee. So ACC jumped on the chance. We put together a 1-year certificate program, and we named it the Industrial Technology Certificate. It is rolling out this month, January, and we're doing it basically, 3 classes this semester, 3 classes this coming summer, and 3 classes in the fall. And by December 2013, a student will have a certificate to put on their resume and go to work for any one of these manufacturing companies.
Now, this is a combination, isn't it, of safety classes, some design classes, CAD classes, welding, electrical. And so just a variety of different sampling of the trades that a person would need coming in entry-level position for
manufacturing. It's a perfect match for what manufacturing is looking for, And there's so much opportunity down the US 23 corridor that, people are clamoring for some skilled workers, and if students, they don't know what they want to do, they want to, maybe dabble in some manufacturing processes, this would be a perfect combination for them to start with us and then see where it takes them.
Well, all the companies you mentioned are growth or high growth mode. I was really impressed to see how the businesses were expanding, which of course entails the need for more employees. Most people have gotten the word that the vast drain of jobs to places like Mexico and China, that's really a trend that's being reversed now.
Oh, absolutely.
Through a very natural process that once people in those other countries get a little taste of middle-class life, they want more, and that creates pressure for increased wages, and suddenly the overseas manufacturing is not as cheap as it used to be, plus transportation costs.
Absolutely.
So there's a big shift in the country, in Michigan, and even in our region, bringing
absolutely.
these jobs back home or establishing them here in the first place.
And like you said, nationally, it's all in the news that manufacturing is making a huge comeback. It is not dead, you know, and put out to pasture like we were led to believe. It is huge, and locally, you know, as you just said, it's really coming back.
So people should not have the mindset that this is a field that's not a good idea to go into. In fact, just the reverse.
Just the opposite, absolutely.
I've heard the figure 30 or 40,000 manufacturing jobs in Michigan that are vacant because of lack of people with the right skills. And I read the National News and Education, same type of thing.
Exactly. So. Even our lead welding instructor reports that by January, so this month, his students will have jobs come May when graduation rolls around. So, you know, so it's quite a viable field.
Now, these manufacturers are, of course, looking for some of the specific skills that our training will provide. They're also looking for people who are dependable, ethical, punctual,
yes,
and also clean, if you know what I mean.
Right, and very familiar with the culture.
Yes.
You know, they really are trying to recruit local talent.
Right.
You know, because they feel they want somebody that's going to be able to weather northern Michigan winters and storms and things like that. And
but the clean part, let's just elaborate on that a little bit. Being able to pass a drug test is critically important in these fields where there's danger on the shop floor, and there really can't be any tolerance for somebody coming to work who has a drug problem. So I guess to anybody out there who might have those issues, there's an opportunity to overcome them with help available in the community, and then position yourself for one of these job offerings.
Absolutely, and that's what they're so hoping, because you know, in the aviation field where Coletta and Phoenix Composites work, they have to have, like you said, zero tolerance, because there's just no room for, you know, any type of mishaps like that.
You wouldn't want to fly in an airplane that had been worked on by an impaired worker.
Not at all.
So
absolutely.
Let's see this in the right perspective.
That's right.
Well, thank you very much for being the guest this morning, all the wonderful work you were doing in Oscoda and for the college up here in Alpena. You've got a breadth of knowledge and skills. Your enthusiasm and energy seems boundless, so I appreciate very much the many roles that you're taking at ACC.
Thank you. It's an exciting time, and I love being a part of it.
That's great.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.